and welcome to Liz at Home. Today we're going to complete our image from the Sherri Baldi's Fluffy Besties. Look how nicely the Ranger glossy accents has dried into a nice sort of shiny bit on the top of the coffee. And today I'm going to do the background. I just needed to kind of open this and push the spine a bit because it wouldn't lie flat. I'm hoping to use some inks for the background, some of the Ranger inks that I've got, and I just need to choose the colors now. I wanted to use the distress inks and I've chosen a couple of colors, and we'll see. I had thought of either going blue or going pink, so I'm just hauling a couple out before I make my decision, and then we'll make our choice. I've got the little felt pads and I'm going to move forward. So I've chosen, like, I'm looking at the pinks. There's a green and a teal. Just looking at what I've got. I've got this kind of pumice stone, which I don't think I'll use. Maybe blue. And this is a mahogany, and the one is a lavender, and that's a darker pink. And I think I'm going to actually go with the more pinky backgrounds because the girl is pink and she's very feminine, and so I think that's what I'm going to try. I just want to see quickly what I've got in these little distress inks. A lot of my inks are dry. I don't use them very often, but they seem to have dried out. So we'll just see what I come up with here. I really need to use them more, which is one of the reasons I decided to use them on the background of this page. So the three colors I've chosen are, this pale one is milled lavender, the next pink one is seedless preserves, and the more browny red one is called aged mahogany. So as you can see, I've brought a piece of scrap paper along and I'm just trying it out, and it's so pale. It's like nothing is coming down on the paper. I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to look like or if the ink has actually dried out completely. I don't know if it's the hot weather in our country or what. I store them in quite a cool cupboard, so they're not drying out from the heat, but so I've got an idea that one of my little mini ink pads is also this milled lavender, so I'm just going to see if I can find that and haul it out and try and see if I get any more ink from that. I really hope that I do. Yes, there we are. So I'm just going to try that on the ink pad, on this little felt thingy. And let's see how we do. Busy dropping everything today. No, it's even more dry. I'm just not winning. So the reason I go on the background page is that I often, when you just start rubbing the ink, you get this slightly darker thing, and I wanted to get that on the background page so that it's more smooth, but I'm really not being very successful. And having started, I don't want to now move on to something different. So I think I want to perhaps try spraying the ink pad with some water first, and let's see if that makes any difference. So I used a little spray bottle with just water. I'm just wiping the edges here, and some ink is coming off on that. So let's see if this makes any difference. I don't know. Let me know how you guys cope with your ink pads and things. I know this is a pale color, but glory be, surely not this pale. I don't know, maybe I expect too much. I see such lovely backgrounds that other people manage to get with their ink pads. So I've also made a mixture in a spray bottle with some glycerin and a little bit of alcohol. I just used alcohol that I use for disinfecting things at home, and water, boiled water. And I thought maybe the glycerin will make a difference, because I was watching what's her name? Lindsay Weyrich. I can't remember the name of her channel. Fabulous channel, where she gives lots and lots of different hints, and she's made a sort of a mix for re-inking pads. She doesn't say they're specifically for distress inks though. So I'm going to try just some glycerin and my mix, and I'll see whether that makes any difference, and I'll leave it to stand for a bit and come back and try, because this is really, nope, not working. So while I leave this to stand, I'm going to try my next darker color, which is the Seedless Preserves, and let's see whether that does any better. I really hope it does. It's so frustrating when you've got a mind of what you want to do and it just doesn't work. So I'm just trying it on the side here quickly. Yeah, that's got more color. And let's move the paint around. And that's coming off a little bit better. Unfortunately, I'm just slightly off screen. I'm so sorry about that. I keep trying to make sure I'm on screen. So I've got the edge done quite a lot there. I was looking at re-inkers at our local shop where I bought things, and I want a re-inker for my archival ink, Paradise Teal, which I use in my glue booking, and they can't get hold of it. And I've seen one on Amazon, but the one that I've seen, the picture shows saffron, although it says Paradise Teal, and I'm so scared that I'm going to get the wrong one. This is not looking quite as I had hoped, and not looking at all like when I did it previously. So I don't know if maybe the little felt thingy is a bit damp, because I had sprayed the pale color first. So now, anyway, I'm just leaving it like this, and I'm going to go on with the dark aged mahogany. I'm using the same little felt thing, and I just want to use this on the corners. And this is also running quite nicely, or running is the wrong word, but applying quite well. So I don't know. Do you often have pages like this that just don't work out? Please leave me a comment. I spend hours trying to make things and then they don't work. I think that's why I've taken to glue booking, because at least the images are done at the end of the day. So now I'm going to try adding perhaps a little water or something, and just seeing if it's any better. So I'm using the milled lavender one from, I've got a little felt that I had underneath here, underneath the tiny one. I had sprayed this, and it's still not, it is a little bit better. So frustrating. Anyway. I think I won't be spending my hard-earned money on any more of these inks. Honestly, they don't work for me, and I don't do very much stamping or anything of that nature. So I bought a whole lot when a shop went out of business, and maybe the whole lot of them had kind of dried out because she wasn't making enough sales or something. I did get them on sale, luckily. But it's very frustrating when you think you've got all these products and they don't work. Still, I'm just going to leave this, and I'm going to try seeing if I can move the ink around with a bit of water and just see what happens. So my previous distress ink background, I sprayed some water on and I got some really nice sort of droplet effects and things. So I'm first just trying this. It's just water in a spray bottle. I just want to wipe it off the colored parts of the image. Although it doesn't really matter because those were not done with water-soluble media, but still, just to save the paper a little bit. But the drops are making absolutely no difference. This ink is not moving for love or money, and it is distress ink, so it should. So now I'm going to try just a little bit with plain water and a watercolor brush and see what happens. I've got a pipette as well, but this paint isn't moving, and I think the problem is actually the paper. This Amazon paper is very, very absorbent, and so it's gobbled up all the ink, and so it's just not moving at all. I love the images in this book, and I think I must do an experiment, but I won't do it on camera, of painting this with one of the gessos and then doing the same thing with a background and seeing if, with the distressing background, and seeing if it's any more successful. Because I really do like these images, and then if that works and you guys like it, then I can do that as a color along for everybody. How many of you have got this book? I'd love to know. Please let me know in the comments. So I think what I'm going to do now is leave this to dry, and then I'm going to come back with some gold acrylic ink and just daub that on. And I've done that, and I just used this little sea sponge. I put the acrylic ink. I used this metallic ink. It's just a cheap brand. I can link it below. And I just did this action. I first wanted to try it and just sponged on little bits here and there. Going to put a few more. I put the ink on the back of a yogurt lid so that I can either throw it away or rinse it off and use it again. And I think that's kind of saved this a little bit. And yeah, that's what I've done, because the background with the distress inks did not turn out at all how I imagined. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little 3-part color along, and I like the shine of this gold paint. I think it's really nice, and I hope that you've enjoyed this and that you will continue watching things on my channel. Please leave a like and leave a comment. I really do appreciate them, and I thank you all for spending time with me. Have a creative week. Bye-bye now.